We contacted Mina Ahadi to get her side of the story. We talked to her once on the phone and arranged an interview, but since then she has not answered our calls or responded to any of our attempts to contact her. What we've been told though is that Ahadi's immediate short-term solution for Sajjad was for him to contact Mohammad Mostafai, a lawyer who at the time was based in Tehran.
به مصطفی زنگ زدم و ایشون 2 میلیون از ما پول خواستن. ما هم دادیم. من بردم پول رو ریختم به حسابشون و ایشون کار خودشون رو آغاز کردن. و تا به حالم ندیدمشون. همش با تلفن حرف زدیم.
Ahadi and Mostafai told Sajjad the best way to publicize his mother's case was to speak to as many foreign media outlets as possible. In July 2010, Mostafai fled Iran and later sought asylum in Norway, and that's exactly what he did himself. He spoke to many media outlets, including this BBC interview, in which he maintained he never took a penny from the ashtiyanis.
من در مورد همه پرونده‌های حقوق بشری 1 ریال از کسی نمی‌گرفتم، خالصانه کار می‌کردم، تمام موارد رو به خودشون عنوان می‌کردم و تمام هدف من نجات دادن اونها بود.
It's really from this point, the decision to publicize and grab the media's attention, that Sakine's case has become known worldwide. But the long story you've just heard, with its twists and turns and different takes on events, has not been mentioned in the Western media. With Mostafai in Europe, Sajjad was without a lawyer. He appointed Hutan Kian to take over his mother's case. In his interview with Iran Today, Mr. Kian says the only reason he even took up Sakine's case was because of the Western media's misrepresentation of it. But somehow, within months of him taking over the case, the Western media had their hands on details about Sakine's case that only his lawyer had access to.
قرار بود فعالین حقوق بشر بیان توی این مقاله من توی اینا چی قرائت بشه، یه مقدار توشیح ذهنی بشه، تبیین بشه در خصوص سنگسار. و چرا من اینو فرستادم؟ برای اینکه تبلیغات گسترده‌ای تو خارج از کشور بود، خودتون شاهدین که برای هر رابطه‌ای خارج از ازدواج سنگسار صادر میشه. حتی یه سایتی هم تو این زمینه افتتاح کرده بودن. به خاطر همین منم مشتاقانه این لایحه رو فرستادم.
Mr. Kian says that it was Mohammad Mostafai who put him in touch with Mina Ahadi and that she soon contacted him. According to Kian, Ahadi thought it was best to intensify the media campaign that had been started. And to achieve this, Ahadi had asked 2 German journalists, the same 2 German journalists who are now in prison, to visit Iran to interview Sajjad. An idea Sajjad says he initially rejected.
خانم احدی به من زنگ زدن، گفتن که 2 نفر آلمانی میان ایران برای مصاحبه و باید باشون مصاحبه کنم. من اول مخالفت کردم، هوتن کیان هم مخالفت کرد و بعد از یکی 2 جلسه که زنگ زد به من، گفت باشه من با هوتن صحبت میکنم. خانم احدی گفتم باش. با هوتن صحبت کرد، رفتم دفتر هوتن گفت که من خودم با خانم احدی صحبت کردم، شرایطم رو گفتم و گفتم که به عنوان توریست وارد ایران بشن و اگه به عنوان توریست وارد ایران نشن ما این مصاحبه رو انجام نمیدیم.
The 2 German journalists were 29-year-old Jan Andreas Koch and 45-year-old Marcus Alfred Rudolf Hellwig. They arrived at Imam Khomeini International Airport in the early hours of Friday the 9th of October 2010. This is the itinerary they'd organised through their travel agent. As you can see on day 2, they had planned a trip to Tabriz.
این 2 نفر تبع آلمانی با ویزای توریستی وارد کشور ما شدند بدون که از مراجع قانونی کشور ما مجوزی رو دریافت بکنن برای فعالیت در داخل کشور. اقداماتی رو کردن، قوانین کشور ما را نقض کردن. به این 2 نفر تفهیم اتهام شده و در اظهارات خودشون نقض قوانین رو قبول کردن و به اون اعتراف داشتن.
Iran Today has been given exclusive access to these pictures taken on the journalist's camera prior to their arrest. Photos of Tabriz Central Prison, Tabriz Judiciary, and other areas where photography was not allowed. All these photos were taken from inside a car. Iran Today asked to meet with the two German journalists, and we were granted that permission. We spent half an hour with them. Neither agreed to speak to us in front of the camera or give an interview. But Sajjad did speak to us about his meeting with them.
خانم مینا احدی به من گفتن که این خبرنگاران آلمانی که میان ایران برای میان و نگران هستند در مورد وضعیت خودشون و اگر این مصاحبه انجام بگیره و برگردن آلمان کمک زیادی به پرونده خواهد شد، به پرونده مادره.
Talking to us off camera, Koch and Helwig denied this. They said that they did not conduct any interview with Sajjad. But these are the photographs taken by the two Germans from their meeting with Sajjad in Mr. Kian's office. Notice the tape recorder in the middle table. Its red light is on. It's recording. The Iranian judiciary has not released this tape. In a released video on YouTube, Mina Ahadi also confirms that an interview was taking place. So, how do things stand right now? At the end of November, the head of the country's Human Rights Commission, Mohammad Javad Larijani, told Press TV that there is a good chance that Sakine's life can be saved. Iranian judicial officials say the case is still in progress within the Iranian legal system and that any pressure should not and will not have an impact on the case.
از سال گذشته عده‌ای خواستن که این پرونده رو از مسیر حقوقی و قضایی خارج بکنن به زعم خودشون و وارد فاز سیاسی بکنن که ما کاری به کار اینا نداریم و کار خودمون را مطابق با قوانین کشور و با رعایت حقوق شهروندی تمامی متهمین ادامه میدیم.
So that is the story of Sekine Mohammadi Ashtiyani, with its many twists and turns, complicated by events inside and outside the country. Ibrahim Qaderzadeh, murdered by Sekine, never mentioned in the Western media, a life lost yet forgotten in this tale. There's Sekine herself, made a symbol of a movement that says it is against the inhumane treatment and stoning of women. There's Mina Ahadi, the head of that movement, a self-confessed fighter against the Islamic Republic who's been accused of being a member of a terrorist group herself. There's Sakine's lawyer, Mohammad Mostafai, now in Norway. The two German journalists caught illegally interviewing Sakine's son Sajjad at Hutan Kian's office, leading all four of them to being arrested. But one thing hasn't changed throughout. Sekine is still in jail, and Iran's judiciary says it won't be influenced by any of the events that have taken place. So it seems Iran Today will have to continue